But now for Kylee. Now, Kylee, what are you going to teach us how to do today?
Well, I guess I can speak more to less in the professional world because I've never actually been that much a big part of it. I can speak more to the home end of things.
Homemaking holistic healing. She's a doula. She was raised by a mother who ran a holistic healing company called, should I tell them that?
Yeah, I don't even remember.
Homestead Mama. She was running a small company. It could have been bigger.
That's a whole nother
It's
story.
a whole nother story. We won't get into that. But she's very knowledgeable in holistic healing, herbs, and what they do, midwifery, anything about midwifery. She pretty much knows it.
Yeah, Stacy would disagree with you there. I don't know nearly as much as my boss.
Her boss has been doing this for 40 years.
So, I don't know. He gave me like an hour to plan this segment out, so I just came up with something off the top of my head. So, when you have kids, or you have a house, or you have a farm, or whatever, you often are in need of something to do first aid with. And one of the first things we always run to is a salve or a cream of some sort to put on the injury. Yeah.
My siblings, we always called it, it didn't matter what brand it was. It could have been Beautiful. It could have been Young Living. Any kind of salve. If it smelled like peppermint and eucalyptus, it was called Owie Fix.
Well, I wouldn't put peppermint and eucalyptus on an open wound, but that's just me. Anyway, so how to make a salve, right? It's very, very easy, and it doesn't take a lot of high-tech equipment. You gather your herbs of choice, which we can do a whole nother segment on a different episode of what herbs to use, but you gather your herbs of choice.
I'm trying to get a GoPro, and we can do like an actual walking video with that.
We don't have enough around here.
There's a lot around here. We live in the hill country.
Yeah, I know. There's not a lot.
All right.
Anyway, you gather your herbs of choice, right? And you put them in a crock pot. And if you want to line the crock pot, that would probably be advisable with one of those crock pot bags that you can put in there. Put the herbs in the crock pot, cover it with olive oil. You don't want to use canola oil or soybean oil or any other cheap vegetable oil because it's low quality and it actually will impede the healing process as opposed to extra virgin olive oil, which has a lot of good microbacterial nutrients in it and actually helps with the healing process.
And other options are what I've heard: beeswax, tallow, butter, any kind of natural grease or oil or wax.
Yeah, I mean, those are good. Beeswax you don't want to use till the very end. You put the beeswax in when you make the actual salve to keep it
tallow and butter.
Hard. Butter and tallow, they harden at room temperature.
So most salves, you have to run your finger around them.
Right, but that's where the beeswax comes in. If you use one of those, you don't use both.
But you can. Rendered pig lard.
You don't.
No, I'm saying you can use them. I just supposedly you wouldn't add the beeswax.
That's a whole other formula. That's a whole other...
I'll shut up.
Anyway, you put your herbs of choice in the crock pot with your extra virgin olive oil, or even if you want to, you can use, I guess you could use tallow because it is soft at room temperature, but I wouldn't really recommend any of the other ones. You put your herbs in there, and you put your olive oil in there, and you put just a little bit of honey or even a little bit of salt, and what that does is it helps draw out the properties from the herbs into the oil itself. And then you just put the lid on, and you leave it on low for about 2 days. And there you have your base oil, and then you can store that for any other uses, whether it's making a salve or whether it's making, just an oil to put on topically if you don't have all the ingredients for a salve, or even if you want to do this and infuse herbs with oil for cooking. Like if you want to do a rosemary basil oil, you can just put your rosemary and your basil in the bottom of your crock pot, put your olive oil on top, put it on low for, I would probably do a day at that point instead of 2 days, and then just take it out and put it in a bottle. That's all you need. But then to make the actual salve, you take your herb oil and you take your beeswax, and you have to find the perfect ratio, and there's plenty of recipes online if you look, and whatever other essential oils or anything like that you want to add, and you just mix it all up, put it in your jars, and let it harden. It's really that simple. Not much to it.
That's awesome. I don't know a lot about this stuff. My woodcraft is just that it's woodcraft. I couldn't make you a salve, although I could probably cut off your leg and you would survive.
Those are like opposites.
I know.
Anyway.
You break your leg falling into a pitfall, I can help you.
So I know mine segment.
Third degree burns, not so much.
My segment didn't go as long as his, but that's okay. He talks more than I do anyway.
Well, we all know that. All right. So, it's been great talking to you. I hope you all enjoyed this. Please give us some feedback. YouTube, Spotify. Give us some feedback. Let us know what you think about this. If you do like it, if you don't like it. And we'll talk to y'all next time.
We'll see y'all next week.